Hey everybody, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. It's Wednesday. Our Wednesday edition is going to be officially underway. And so thank you so much for joining us. We got a lot of things to get through. We got the news, we got Discord question of the week, we've got a bunch of great articles, and I've got a stranger in the studio, someone I almost didn't recognize, but see if you guys remember him when we get back. So we're going to dive in, so buckle up. It's about to get creepy. Spooky, not creepy. Well, let's do this. All right, everybody, we are live here and underway here on the Paranormal Portal. Again, it's Wednesday nights. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, we're diving into another 2-hour fun fest of the paranormal. So I hope you guys are ready because we got a lot to get to. As always, thank you so much for coming in and being a part of the journey. It's just been incredible to see all the friendly faces showing up. Thank you guys so much. And I'm not alone here. I found a strange guy scratching at the window, and so I let him in to get him warm, and turns out he wants to stay. So without further ado, let me introduce my good friend and co-host, the Big Toe himself, Mr. Don Longbeard. How you doing?
Hola.
Hola.
Hi, everybody.
I almost forgot. I thought maybe you forgot how to get here.
Well, I almost forgot how to get through the door. That's for sure. Yeah, I was driving in town. I'm like, where the hell does he live?
Yeah, I know.
Where
Isn't that
is
something? Sometimes I wonder where I live too.
Me too. Yeah.
So
3rd and Main, somewhere on the corner there.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I've done what? This is the 3rd show in like 2 months.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. So yeah, I got knocked down last week or the week before. It's been 2 weeks. Yeah.
I know. I'll have to demote you from co-host to guest.
Yeah, I guess this guy who pops in every now and then says, "Let me in,
every once in a
please."
while. Yeah. No, that's great. It's good to have you here.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a lot to get to. So I guess.
Oh, hi, Paisley.
Oh, hi, Paisley. How you doing? Hello to all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. There's a new name. What is that? Why?
Withless.
W.
Lothus.
W. Lothus. Welcome.
And
Nice to meet
Caleb's
you.
a new one for me.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, it's always cool. Caleb, good to see you.
There's
Thanks for coming in.
Jaron from Supernatural Stations here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Another great podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun fest for us here, and good to see you all.
Unknown says, "Why'd you let that guy in?"
Well, we just leave the lights on, and whoever shows up gets in.
It's like they take in wild cats.
Yeah. Do your best, mod the rest.
That's good. That's good. Mod the rest.
There you go.
Nice.
That's why we got mods. So. All right, folks. I guess we might as well launch the ship here. So buckle up. Keep your arms and hands inside the car at all times, and we'll hopefully arrive safely back at the station at the conclusion of our journey. Hang on. We're going in. And there it is, folks. It's now official. We're underway. So, welcome as always. Let's see, Don. What do you think? Do you remember the first part of the show?
Oh gosh, I thought the first part of the show was like you hit launch and then
Oh yeah, that's the that's the
your
technical
seat.
side of it. Yeah.
Oh, not the technical stuff. Oh, like after the intro and the thing and the you mean like the news?
That's what I mean.
There you go.
It's time for the news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what I've stirred up for your digestion.
Oh no.
Most trusted, Don.
The most trusted in
Absolutely.
paranormal news.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk. I'm your anchor, Brent Thomas, with my co-anchor, Mr. Longbeard here, and we're going to dig into some news articles that I've curated for your listening and watching pleasure.
Wait, I thought anchors were supposed to like hold you steady in the water and
just keep the body from floating up.
pretty much, yeah.
Not that kind of anchor.
Oh, not that kind of anchor.
Just,
sorry.
Just holding down the fort here.
Holding down the body.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to get to the first article, which is, again, from an amazing site that I've found and fallen in love with, as I've told you many times. Checking them out, unexplained-mysteries.com. It's a phenomenal site. They do a hell of a job over there. Timely, relevant, punctual, just a great source.
Wow, that's some adjectives right there, brother.
I know, and believe me, that's about my whole vocabulary. That's like all the words I know. So, but from unexplained-mysteries.com comes our first article, and that is this viral video of a strange red animal has left social media users baffled. And I saw this, and I don't think this is like a some kind of wolf.
A D-hole?
No, it's not. Is it a D-hole?
Yeah.
That is a D-hole?
I think it looks like a D-hole. Either that or it looks like a D-hole. Yeah, dole. A dole. Yeah, technically.
The inside joke there is that I actually read a whole article going D-hole because I didn't know what the hell a D-hole was. But it's a dole, I guess. I thought it was some kind of wolf, though.
It looks like... Oh, that's right, a coy wolf.
Legged
Yeah, it's a
wolf.
It actually kind of looks like a Tasmanian.
Here it is, right here. Yeah, this is it is actually they show me a picture, but what the hell is it?
A maned wolf.
Is it a maned wolf?
That's what it says.
A maned wolf. Okay, maned wolf. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly. Yeah.
So I don't think it's really paranormal or weird or baffling. It's just it's unusual.
It's unusual, yeah.
Yeah, they're not seen often. But
where is this? That's.
This is the article says this creature in the footage looks like a strange cross between a wolf. Oh, it's right in the story.
It's right in the
story. A wolf and a fox, but it turns out it's neither. At a glance, you might be forgiven for thinking this peculiar four-legged creature is some sort of digital manipulation or CGI creation. Yet it's actually a very real animal. Furthermore, it's neither a fox nor a wolf, despite exhibiting the characteristics of both. The animal is in fact a maned wolf, a rather unique species of canine found in parts of South America, in particular in Brazil, Peru, Argentina, Bolivia, Paraguay. With the color and markings of a fox, a distinctive mane, and abnormally long legs, these animals have often been mistaken for cryptozoological creatures and have appeared in several viral videos.
Yeah, definitely.
One video in particular, which can be viewed below, has been doing the rounds for at least a year, with many believing it to be fake or some sort of digital manipulation. The maned wolf joins the ranks of other animals such as the Brahma chicken and the giant isopod creatures that undoubtedly exist, but that are unusual or surprising to see because most people don't seem to know about them. So, yeah, it's just a normal wolf in that region anyway. So there it is. It's called a maned wolf. Maned, M-A-N-E-D, not M-A-I-N-E. But yeah, they're spectacular creatures.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was familiar with them, so when I saw this, I was like, why are people buzzing about that?
Right.
Just a quick Google search, you can probably get to the bottom of it.
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
whatever the case is,
Yeah, so that's down in South America?
Yes, South
Okay.
American wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the D hole runs around in Africa and stuff. So
Okay. Well, yeah, it's not a D hole, but
it's not a D hole, but it's close. It's close.
is it similar? Look similar?
Yeah,
to
it does.
Okay.
It really does.
Okay.
That's what, yeah.
That's what triggered you?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Or I was also thinking, what is the other one? There's like a coy wolf, a coyote wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so something like that. But there you go.
But-
Yeah, mystery solved, Scooby Doo.
There you go. Yeah. That's it for the mystery there. Nice job, Velma.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, sorry. Sorry, it was low-hanging fruit.
If it wasn't for you kids.
All right, here's another one, and this one actually was pointed out to me by our longtime listener, the Unknown. But I actually found an article that talks about it.
Oh, nice.
And actually, Unknown is working on isolating the video so that we can get a better look at it because it's really shaky. We will watch this. I think there's a video at the bottom of it. But the article in question is Bigfoot filmed by boaters in remote area of Ontario, Canada. Now, if this still could be a hoax because obviously they would have to let somebody off on the shore, go back out and act like they just came and be like, oh, it's a Bigfoot. So the fact that it's in a remote area doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, it's for sure legitimate. However, would you want to put that out there and then undergo the harassment of that? So
Like
it might
Coyote Peterson.
yeah, exactly. Like Coyote Peterson. Oh, that idiot. I don't even know what ever happened to him, but I hope he suffered great losses.
He did not.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
Oh, well, there you go.
He's very, very popular.
Well, I don't know why. I mean, the guy's, I guess.
Anyhow.
Whatever. All right, well, anyway.
D-hole.
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna lambast him publicly, but he did perpetuate a hoax, whether or not it was an inside gag or whatever. It was really poorly done.
It was poorly done.
So this is some footage. This is a still from it, and up here you can see the Bigfoot in question, but there is a video that goes with it. Yeah, it's very still. Yeah. A recently uploaded video clip shows what appears to be a large ape-like creature walking between some trees near the shoreline. The footage, which was posted up on YouTube channel of Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization, that's Kelly Shaw's, yeah.
Kelly Shaw, yeah.
Yep, back in December 2nd, was filmed by boaters in Ontario, Canada. No specific details were provided concerning the precise location or the time and date of the sighting. In the video, a dark brown hominid appears in a nearby clearing, promptly walks from right to left, and then vanishes into the trees. The boat from which the footage was being recorded can then be seen changing direction and heading towards the shoreline as if moving to investigate.
Boy, there's a boatload of smart people there.
As usual with videos like this, it's rather difficult to discern what the creature is because it's quite far away, although in this case, it certainly looks like an upright bipedal figure. While that said, there's no way to rule out the possibility that the Bigfoot is simply a person wearing a suit. You can check out the video along with the organization's analysis below. What do you think? Yeah, and this is Kelly's group, and my hat's off to Kelly Shaw. They really are always working and always looking, and they actually go out to places where things are recorded. So I really think what he's doing is great. I'm going to go right to the footage here if we can. Looks like I might have missed it already. I got to get rid of the ads. Jeez. Is it here? Maybe there's a better close-up of it coming up, but definitely support what Kelly's doing over on RMSO, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization. They do a really great job. Where is it? Is this it? Let me just cue it up better here. There it is. Walking, and it's from left to right, not right to left, but you can see it going between the trees there.
Yeah.
Now it's going back the other way. I don't know. I think that's just a reworking of it, but there's a few things.
Yeah, it's walking back and forth. Yeah, so it's.
Could it be? Yeah, it could be legitimate. It really could be. Is it?
Those arms look pretty nice.
Yeah, they don't look bad. When I first saw the few stills that I saw, it looked like they were shorter.
Right.
But in this footage, it does look longer.
Yeah, towards more. Yeah.
It is kind of walking bent-legged, which is one of the things that are claimed about Bigfoot, according to.
They don't lock their knees.
Yeah, they can't extend their knees to a lock. So whether or not that's true or not, I have not observed that myself. But if you watch Patty walk, she never actually locks her knees or legs straight. It's always at a slight flexation.
Right.
One thing I did notice that I did struggle a little bit with is in the stride. As you're watching the stride, keep in mind that when you watch Patty walk, she's got almost a 90-degree flexion to her knee with each step. And whatever this is walking very human-like with the height that the feet are coming up.
Right.
It's just very shuffly. It doesn't look quite the same. Could be just that it didn't walk that way because maybe the terrain was a little different.
On a little hill or something.
Yeah, and it's
a little shorter steps.
Right, but it just doesn't have that flexion. It just looks like it's picking them up enough to move them like human beings.
Right.
I think we have like maybe a 20-degree flexion on our legs when we're doing our normal walk.
Right.
And this looks really in line with that. So I don't know. That to me is a bit of a red flag. But I'm not an expert.
Well, Jared Daniels agrees with you. Stride seems more human.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. You're not picking up them feet as high.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you watch Patty, I mean, she's literally almost going to a 90-degree.
Yeah.
And Thinker Thunker did a great breakdown of that and comparing, the stride of Patty versus normal human walking. And even if it was, as Bob Hieronymus claimed it was him, they did a video of Bob walking like he was Patty, and there's no knee flexion at all.
Right.
There's none. And so,
right.
I don't know. I just think that you have to, I don't know if all of them walk like Patty does or not, but it certainly seems to make sense because this is a creature that has developed an uneven ground. We've developed on carpeting and sidewalks. And
somewhat leveled, processed.
Right. For centuries.
Yeah.
And thousands of years. But these things have evolved and have developed in uneven territory, walking over debris and brush. And, that's part of why I think that knee flexion is part of why they can look around as they're moving without worrying about tripping because they're stepping over 90% of what they would run into.
Right. Yeah. Like down trees.
Yeah. And branches and weeds and
we
thorns.
We parkour over this stuff, and they just stride over it.
Yeah, exactly. So I am kind of hesitant to endorse that as real.
Right.
There are some aspects of it that look pretty convincing.
Right. Yeah,
but
the head and the arms.
Yeah. I mean the proportions look about right. But I don't like that leg flexion. That really stands out to me.
Yep.
Or the lack of it. So come to your own conclusions, folks. But definitely check it out on rmso.org. Is it com? I can't remember what Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization is. But if you just look for it on Google, you'll find it. And Kelly has a bunch of amazing videos and things that they've been checking out over the years. So definitely support what he's doing.
It's dot. Oh no, it's not. Let me do some more looking.
Okay, so Don's gonna verify that URL, but yeah, I really have always respected Kelly and listened to him for years before I ever did this show, so I think he does a great job. So support what they're doing at the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization, and he worked with Les Stroud a little bit during his Bigfoot episodes. He did at least on one occasion he worked with Les Stroud.
Oh, so. It's RockyMountainSasquatch.com.
.com. Okay,
right.
So it is .com.
Yeah,
okay.
And it's not RMSO. It's Rocky Mountain Sasquatch.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go.
Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization.com. So that's how you can support what Kelly's doing over there, and check out his Facebook and his YouTube and all of that because it's all got great stuff. Let's go to the next one, and this is another one having to do with the hunt for alien life. And apparently they've been really stretching the boundaries of what they're looking for now, or at least how they're looking.
Right.
Because according to unexplained-mysteries.com, hunt for alien techno-signatures has been expanded by a factor of 1,000.
Wow.
They're really taking this seriously now, Don.
Wow, look at that radio telescope.
Yeah, isn't that
that
something?
Thing's that's new age.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty amazing. Now, the sad part is that for decades they were just scoffing at people that are witnessing stuff, and now all of a sudden they're all interested, and so they're several decades late, but at least officially. I think unofficially they've been looking at it for as long as we have, like anybody has. But the Breakthrough Listen Project has joined forces with the Meerkat MEERKAT telescope in South Africa to help it expand its search. Launched back in 2016 with the help of late physicist Professor Stephen Hawking and Israel entrepreneur Yuri Milner, Breakthrough Listen aims to scour the night sky for alien technosignatures, indications of advanced extraterrestrial technology in orbit around distant stars. The project employs the services of the Green Bank Telescope, or GBT,
Okay.
which is important, in West Virginia, as well as the Parkes Telescope in Australia. And now it is also joining forces with the Meerkat Telescope in South Africa, an array of 64 individual dishes that could help take the search to the next level.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it is. Efforts to integrate the necessary equipment with Meerkat systems has taken the better part of 3 years, but now at least the first data collected by the telescope is being analyzed for signs of intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations. Meerkat consists of 64 dishes, which can see an area of the sky 50 times bigger than the GBT and can view all at once, said Breakthrough Listen Dr. Andrew Simon, or Simeon? Simeon? I don't know. Such a large field of view typically contains many stars that are interesting technosignature targets. Our new supercomputer enables us to combine signals from the 64 dishes to get high-resolution scans of these targets with excellent sensitivity, all without impacting the research of other astronomers who are using the array.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's like multitasking, right?
We can actually share now.
All things taken into account, this new development could increase the number of targets that can be searched by the project by a factor of 1,000. One of the first targets we'll be observing is our nearest neighbor star, Proxima Centauri, which appears to host 2 small rocky planets in the star's habitable zone, said Executive Director Dr. S. Pete Warden. Routine observations with the Listen backend on Meerkat are now underway, and the team looks forward to sharing the first science results in the coming months.
Nice.
Well, there you go. They're still at it, Don, and they're boosting their efforts.
That's right. Yeah. Wow.
So,
64.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of dishes.
And this is just one of them? Yeah, this is just one of them.
That's just one of them, yeah.
So they're obviously taking it seriously, which is nice.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Being able to, possibly pick up those technosignatures, such as like what we throw off. We throw off radio waves, we throw off radiation. We throw off all these things into the cosmos
and light.
Light, yeah, gosh, yeah. So, but artificial lights,
right?
Things, So it's going to be really interesting to watch what comes out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it will. So we'll keep our finger on the pulse of this, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Paranormal Portal News Desk. In other words, if an article comes up, I'll bring it to you.
Let us know. Keep us in the know.
And if you come across an article,
absolutely.
let us know.
Send them to us.
All right, so the next up is from unexplained-mysteries.com, and this is having to do with Bigfoot. Bigfoot tales abound in New York State's Chautauqua County. Is that how you say that? Chautauqua?
Chautauqua?
It looks like Chautauqua, right?
That's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
Of course, our resident New Yorker's not here.
New York, Jake. Yeah.
Well, and the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Farm.
Yep, we've been abandoned by the New Yorkers. New York City.
New York City. Get a rope.
Dry, itchy cough still.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's horrible. I got to get a drink before I read this.
Mr. Big Feets. Bigfoot tales abound in New York's Chautauqua County. Okay.
Well, I don't think they're alone there, but at least that's some.
Goodness.
That's my life now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Ever since I had that chest deal.
Right. Yeah.
I still got this little lingering thing. But maybe it's the dry air too.
Yeah. That's what started it up for me. Was I was out doing the snow blowing that day. And oh my goodness.
Keep talking.
So Ron says he's in New York. Hey, I didn't know that. What part of he was? What part of New York are you up in that Chautauqua County? Is that like up by the Finger Lakes? Where is that?
Wow.
Not you, Jake. Jake, BLB Jake from Bigfoot, Blue Line Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So, presume there are no big feats in New York City. I bet you there are. I bet you there are big feats in New York City. I bet you.
Someone's got to eat all those rats.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm back. I think so anyway. All right, so we're at this article. Bigfoot tales abound in New York State's Chautauqua County.
Yeah, Ron says he's in Chautauqua.
Wow. Have you heard of some reports up there, Ron? Let us know. The forests of this unassuming region of the northeastern United States are said to be home to the elusive Bigfoot. Well, I think everywhere's potentially home to the elusive Bigfoot.
Yeah, no doubt. It's just a matter of how many eyes do you have put on them.
Right. There are a few cryptozoological mysteries as enduring and as widespread as Bigfoot, a mysterious hairy hominid that is believed to roam the wilds and woodlands of rural North America. That's not the only place they roam. While conclusive evidence of the creature's existence continues to remain elusive, there are many who are so convinced by their own personal experiences that, to them at least, the question of whether or not Bigfoot is really out there has already been settled. One part of the country that has been in the news recently due to its association with the mysteries is New York State's Chautauqua County, a region said to be home to a whole population of these elusive hairy hominids who reside in the area's dense forests.
How many exactly denotes a population?
I don't know.
It's like 2, 20.
13.
Wow. I would have never guessed.
That's rather specific, yeah.
Yeah, it's rather odd, too.
Multiple residents claim to have either seen one firsthand or know someone who has. They are from all kinds of walks of life, said Peter Weimer. Or is that right? Weimer? Yeah. Who sponsors the Chautauqua Lake Bigfoot Expo, told WGRZ, there's 45 eyewitnesses that have reached out to me, and that's 100 or more. There's 100 or more in Chautauqua County that aren't talking to me. Well, how do you know that?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that, chances are you're right. But that's
pretty specific.
Yeah, it's like, how do you know how many people are? Maybe it's 12 that didn't decide to come forward. While only a body is ever likely to satisfy science, the experiences of witnesses is arguably a phenomena unto itself. These people must be seeing something out there, and as to what it could be, we may never know for sure. Well, that's true.
So Jaron says Three's Company. That's all they need.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. So Chautauqua, I guess, is down towards the Pennsylvania border.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Because how many times have we, talked to people or, Pennsylvania is almost as eerie as Ohio.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, it's where Merkel came from. So.
Yeah. Well, it may not be as eerie now.
Well, it's a little less eerie now that Merkel's in Tennessee, but
Tennessee.
But he did start there. So.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we love Tony, but he brings the chills.
He brings the chills.
Yeah. There you go, folks. Some action up in Chautauqua County, and Ron will expect full field reports going forward as you go out and investigate these reports. Yep. You can be our Paranormal Portal field researcher.
There you go. Yeah, we'll slather you in your bacon grease like he likes to try to do to me.
Yeah, I'm going to dangle pork chops from you and head you out into the forest.
No.
It could work, Don. I'm just saying. You could bring back proof.
Yeah. Proof that.
Never mind.
His bite marks proof.
Don's new code name is Lunch Meat.
Ron says, no. Thin sliced. There'd be a lot there. Ron says there's been Bigfoot stories in Chautauqua County for many years.
Okay.
His grandfather used to tell him about seeing a strange person in the woods. He never actually came out and said it was Bigfoot.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, but what are the odds there's just a strange person in your woods?
Oh. Jaron, I've brought that question up many, many times. Jaron says, what are your thoughts? You guys think the government has covered up any live sightings when it gets close to home? I think the government covers up a lot of things regarding Bigfoot. Because we talk about, was it Brown Spring?
Yeah.
Brown Springs and Hanobia.
Yeah.
And, even Mount St. Helens eruption. There are stories out there where, the government seems to have stepped in and taken over things. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tracy. Yes, it's nice to be back. There you go. So there you go. More thoughts.
You're sounding a little raspy too.
Yeah, I am. I'm still pretty bad off. Yeah. Well, I'm not dying.
Thanks for coming over.
Gosh. No. I mean, I've had that like I told you, my asthma's gotten worse this year.
Yeah, for
really
sure.
Bad, but,
Something in the air, folks.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree that I think that there's got to be knowledge of this stuff out there. And as we saw, look, with the UFO phenomenon is a perfect example. They
Right.
scoffed and laughed
Yeah.
and made fun of people that had accounts, and until suddenly there's leaked footage from the Navy of these Tic Tac craft and stuff, and it's like, well, now they're all interested. Now that that's out there, they're all interested in getting all serious with their, NASA's trying to figure out protocols and things to, meet and greet or whatever. Right. I don't know, but that's just one example of this unknown phenomena that was just discarded as fantasy up until, now it's not fantasy. Now there are things we don't understand. It's like, oh, well, thanks for making us feel like idiots for decades. We appreciate that. But so I, honestly, I don't think official disclosure is necessary anymore. Like, I don't need the government to rubber stamp anything.
Yeah, exactly.
In any of this phenomena, because I think just if you look objectively at the entire body of claims and evidence that's out there of all of this stuff, it's clear there's something going on that is not the norm, and we don't understand. And I'm not saying it's definitely little green men from some distant star, but whatever it is, they're far advanced to us, or at least have a different technology than we do.
Right.
And they're sharing our skies. These creatures are roaming the forest. Too many people have seen them. Dr. Meldrum has cast so many tracks that show a very flexible and dynamic imprints that change over the terrain. It's not just a rubber stamp, somebody putting wood cutouts on their feet.
Right.
There's enough evidence to, including dermal ridges, hair, and other examples of this stuff that there's obviously something going on out there. Do I think the government covers it up? Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't understand why, and I've heard all the arguments about the logging and about the, what would it mean to our industries and stuff, and I understand that that's possible, but at the same time, I don't know. It seems deeper than that to me for some reason.
Yeah, it always does, because we've always lived in this culture of cover up, and it's not getting any better. It's never going to get better until something really breaks and changes. Yeah. But we've always lived in a world of cover up, and that's just the way it is. So yeah, it doesn't matter what you think; they're covering something up. It doesn't matter what you believe's out there; they're covering something up. It's just the way it is. They have to. There's no other way for them to live. They just have to.
To live, they can't even live unless they're covering something up.
Yeah, exactly. It's what they live for.
Yeah, it's
so
yeah. So yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, yeah, I think there's official cover-ups on this stuff. For what purpose? I don't pretend to know. I'm not that educated.
Because the spotted owl tastes really good.
All right, so let's move on to the next article, and this one has to do with some technology news, which I thought was kind of neat. How long is this one? I didn't check for length. Yeah, we're okay. But it's a new technological development, because now the U.S. Air Force unveils its new nuclear stealth bomber, the B-21. So they got those now. It's, I don't know. It looks kind of tiny, doesn't it?
It looks kind of like a saucer.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does.
From this side, yeah.
Yeah, at that angle, it doesn't. It says, developed by Northrop Grumman,
Gosh.
The new Raider is capable of carrying both conventional and nuclear payloads.
Wow.
Oddly enough, when I read that headline, I thought, it's nuclear powered? But no.
Right.
Designed to be a long-range strike stealth bomber that will replace the older B-1 and B-2 models, the B-21 is the country's answer to other countries, to China's recent efforts to build up and modernize its military. The U.S. Air Force will purchase at least 100 of these new bombers at a price of $700 million each.
And they won't be done for 15 years.
The B-21 will join the nuclear triad as a visible and flexible nuclear deterrent, supporting national security objectives and assuring our nation's allies and partners, that Northrop Grumman spokesperson said, adding it will be capable of penetrating the toughest defenses to deliver precision strikes anywhere in the world, and is the future of deterrence. The bomber was unveiled at, That was what was making me cough.
Coupons.
that gurgling. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't just eat pudding, I promise. The bomber was unveiled at a ceremony in the manufacturer's facility in California on December 2nd. We last introduced the new bomber over 30 years ago. Was it that long?
Yeah, the first Bs, yeah.
The said Air Force Chief Staff General C.Q. Brown Jr., who described the unveiling as a historic moment of our Air Force and the nation. As we look to the threats posed by our pacing challenge, we must continue to rapidly modernize. The B-21 Raider will provide formidable combat capability across a range of operations in highly contested environments in the future. Well, there you go. I'm not going to watch the video. It's like, okay, well, it's a new.
So how many are they getting for? They're getting
100.
100 for having. Somebody said 700 million. They must
Each.
have coupons.
Yeah, they cost 700 million each.
So there's only 6 B-21s though.
Well, there's going to be a whole lot more of these.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know. I long for the day when we won't need things like this. But
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know if it'll be during any of our lifetimes. But here's to hoping, man. It'd be nice if we could turn this kind of science into like, hey, we're going to solve diseases now instead.
Right.
So let's maybe work on that. I don't, I pie in the sky maybe, but unfortunately,
Mr. Rainbows.
I got
Rainbows and unicorns.
rainbows coming right out my sphincter, Don. I don't even know why I said that.
Because
Let me just do it. Sorry.
oh
All right. Well, anyway, that's new technology
my. There
news.
you go.
Guess we're gonna have a bigger, better plane than the ones we had.
It's actually probably not much bigger than the
No, but it sounds like it's better.
Well,
Like it can go in any adversity. I don't know how that's different from the other ones, but it must do it better than the other ones.
yeah, whatever.
Well, that's what we're banking on because that's your tax dollars at work.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Yeah.
So it better be better.
you
right.
bet.
You better bet. I used to love that song.
Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah. Let's get to the next one. The news is trudging on here. And the next one is from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this is kind of good news, I guess, if they're looking at cloning these things. But I think they're still out there. And this is remains of the last known living thylacine found in a cupboard 85 years on.
No way.
What
was it?
The remains of a last known thylacine.
Yeah, but remains of what? In a cupboard?
Yeah, I'm sure they must have had some pieces of it just in a cupboard.
Yeah, we got some. Yeah, we got
Like
some
jerky. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Thylacine jerky. Hey, man, I got these smoked ribs from 1974.
Yeah.
They came off this dingo-looking thing.
Just dip them in the sauce extra long.
There you
Get a
go.
marinade.
Oh, wow.
The last known living thylacine, an animal named Benjamin, died at Hobart Zoo all the way back in 1936. One of the best known recent examples of a species wiped out by human hunting practices, the thylacine was a distinctive carnivorous marsupial native to Australia and Tasmania and New Guinea. I don't know why that was so hard to say. The last confirmed living specimen was an individual that had been kept at Hobart's Beaumaris Zoo until his death in 1936, after which its remains were preserved and stored for safekeeping. That's called jerky. Not long afterward, these remains went missing, leading researchers on a decades-long hunt to determine exactly what happened to them. Now, though, 85 years after they were last seen, the thylacine's remains, consisting of a preserved skin and skeleton, had been rediscovered inside a cupboard at the Hobart Zoo. Wow, they didn't go.
Right
Who the hell cleans that place?
Well, not Harry Potter.
Nobody looked in the cupboards?
No, apparently not. But
I don't know. This ain't been open since 1936.
So yeah, but I mean, yeah, it could have just been a janitor's closet for that matter. It's probably.
It was under some old coats.
Yeah, exactly.
As tends to be the way of things, they had been right under the researchers' noses all along. For years, many museum curators and researchers searched for the remains without success, as no thylacine material dating from 1936 had been recorded, said author Robert Paddle. It was assumed its body had been discarded. Oh, thank God that isn't the case.
Yeah, no doubt.
According to reports, a museum curator had found an old taxidermist report, which prompted a review of the museum's collections. The specimen in question had previously been taken around Australia as a traveling exhibit, but nobody had known at the time that it was the last known thylacine. At the time, they thought that there were still animals out in the bush, said curator Catherine Medlock. I think there still is.
Yeah, we talked to our buddy Ken,
Yeah.
and he moved into that spot, and he swears that there's a small pack.
Yep. And Dean.
Dean,
who had one come up to him, he thought it was a weird looking dog and shoot it away.
Shoot it away.
He was out investigating Bigfoot. He's like, this weird dog rolled up on me.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, you got to listen to that interview. It's on the first visit. Yeah, it came right up to him, and he had a camera and everything ready to take a picture of a Sasquatch or the Yowie. But one of these things came out of the bush. He said, I know it looked familiar, but I just couldn't place it. I was like, well, this is a weird looking dog. And he was like, shh, go.
Wow.
And then afterwards, he was like, oh my God, that was a thylacine. So, true story. But there you go. I guess if they aren't still out there, maybe they can reintroduce them.
Well, all they got to do is get a hold of Jurassic Park.
On the bat phone. And,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I mean, you might as well tie in all of the lore while we're at it. Call the Super Friends. And no, I don't. I don't know. I don't know, Don.
Oh boy. Oh man.
I don't think Jurassic Park is taking contracts right now. Anyway, that was this called Jurassic Park.
Just don't let Newman back on there.
No, he's dino food, I think.
Yeah,
he's probably a steaming coiler on Jurassic Park, isn't he?
Thank you, Tom Seawood.
Yeah, Tom Seawood's beautiful, robust
Descriptions.
flowery descriptions. But yeah, there you go. Let's get back to the news here. Got a couple left to go. This one is coming up, and this is kind of a weird one. I don't know. I didn't even look at how long this one was. It might be really long.
Ooh, Luna Moonicorn says she's listening to a something called the Believe podcast. I think it's
Crikey, what?
Crikey.
Nah, Cade.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, Foster's. It's Australian for beer.
And Cade likes it.
This is really a long article, so I can't read this one. So that's okay. It's kind of
It
a
has to do with
cyborgs versus humans in a million years or whatever. I don't know.
holdout humans.
Holdout
It's
humans.
not. It's not even humankind. It's
Not
the
even-
holdouts.
Yeah.
What's left?
What's left? Yeah, I saw that movie. Dun 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 dun. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
All right, so let's get to the last one out there.
Whew.
This is the last one, and ladies and gentlemen, we covered this on the last show to a degree, but I don't know if this will have something new or more explanation. But there's a bunch of cattle deaths that have been happening in Colorado, and we talked about it in the last show.
That explains why Linda Moulton Howe has been talking about them a little more lately.
Yeah, I don't know what state they're found in. It's been extraordinarily vague what their condition is.
Colorado.
But
That state. Oh.
yeah.
It says Colorado.
Oh.
Sorry, you meant the other kind of state. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was not, yeah, never mind. All right, so from unexplained-mysteries.com, mysteries surround spate of unexplained cattle deaths in Colorado.
Have they been anally cored?
I don't know.
You were getting to it. I was just going to bring it up now.
No, I wasn't. 'Cause they don't give any description in the previous report, so let's see what this one says. Yeah, it's not too long. Officials have struggled to come up with an explanation for the deaths of at least 40 cows over the last 2 months. The phenomenon began back in October when a ranch in the town of Meeker, northwest Colorado, reported 18 of its cattle had seemingly dropped dead for no apparent reason. So there must not be any visible reason. They're just dying. Initially assuming that wolves were responsible, investigators examined the animals and conducted extensive surveys on the region to look for signs of the predators, but surprisingly found very little evidence to suggest that this is what had happened to the
I'm
cows.
sorry. Can I bring something up real quick? It says seemingly dropped dead for no reason.
Right.
So that means that if it was attacked by wolves,
There would be a
it would
reason.
be an obvious reason that it was attacked by something.
Yeah.
Come on.
The mystery soon deepened further still when several other cattle also dropped dead, leading investigators on a hunt for answers that would leave them scratching their heads. They even considered the possibility that the cows had been infected with a deadly bacteria, but a forensic examination of the remains revealed no evidence of either.
Of course.
The phenomena so far claimed the lives of more than 40 animals. Travis Black, the area's Colorado Parks and Wildlife Manager, described the situation as perplexing.
Wow. Talk about understatements.
We're scratching our heads a little bit. He said, we don't know exactly what has occurred up there. Efforts to get to the bottom of the mystery remain ongoing. So another report with not any new evidence or new information, but it's from the 4th. I mean, there's got to be some reason they dropped dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some pathogen.
Black mold.
Yeah, just be ergot or
Ergot.
could be mushrooms they're eating. I don't know.
Gosh, let me have some.
They're tripping balls.
Well, they're best known to grow in cow patties. So
well, yeah, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy right there,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
Oh well,
It's a self-perpetuating prophecy.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, they got the fertilizer beds all set.
There you go, yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. This has been a presentation of the Paranormal Portal News. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you just were a little mildly entertained or wildly entertained, possibly.
So Aaron Heisner says maybe the aliens are working on getting cows not to burp or fart anymore.
Yeah. They can't release that methane. The methane's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They don't release methane on the grill. That's all. They do later though.
They do say that charring your meat can cause cancer though.
Do they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna die fat and happy then.
Yeah.
All right. This has been the news, ladies and gentlemen.
The news. Brown chicken brown.
Right in their ears. Bring it home, Don.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah. All right. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at the rest of the show. That was the news. And now what are you doing, dude? You're killing me over here. You're going to lose your toy privileges next.
That's my man card.
That's your man card. All right. Yeah. All right. So we have a newer segment that we've been doing. It's not really new anymore, but we have a Discord, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Discord server.
There's a lot of discourse up here.
Yeah. There's no Discord.
Oh,
there's some of that.
There's a lot of that too.
Yeah. And so in the Discord, we have the ability to continue the chat community and conversation that you've grown to love during the live shows. So if you want to become a part of our Discord server, we'd love to have you over there. And I'll put an invite. Or did you already?
Oh, I can do it. I'll do it.
Okay, Don's going to put an invite. If you have Discord and wouldn't mind being a part of the Paranormal Portal Discord server, then by all means, join. We'd love to have you over there. But we've been doing a segment that we like to call Questions of the Week. And let's get to that now.
You mean like W-E-E-K, not W-E-A-K?
W-E-E-K.
Oh, yes, gotcha.
We don't question the weak as in the helpless.
Because they got no answers.
That's right. If they did, they wouldn't be weak and helpless. So this is the Discord question of the week, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our place to talk about all of the cool different paranormal questions that we'll post over on the Discord server, and hopefully you guys will weigh in. You give me your opinion. There's no wrong answers, as Wes always says on Sasquatch Chronicles, and the same is true for all of the paranormal. We just pose these different questions, and today's question was courtesy of Wonder Woman, who is involved over on the Discord as well as over here on the live chat. And good question that she asked. So let's dive into this, shall we? Shall we, Don?
We shall.
We shall. Okay, so let's get to the question of the week. Let me kill that first before it goes back into it. We're going to go to this screen where I'm going to pull it up. Here's the Discord server, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not really familiar with Discord, it's not a really tough application to get involved with. It's pretty self-explanatory after you figure out where things are. Over here on the left is the different discussion groups in our Paranormal Portal server. And over here is other channels that I'm involved with to some degree or another. But and then here's where you type. And this is the questions of the week right here. We do have a tutorial section. So if you just start Discord and you're like, how the hell do I use this? Try to get over here to the Discord tutorial, click it, and you can watch some videos that'll walk you through how to use Discord. That was set up by Sheldon. He did a great job. All of this, the Discord server and everything was set up by Sheldon. But this is the questions of the week. So let's go back to where I was. Here we are. And the question for tonight is Wednesday show from Wonder Woman. Many people believe that we are capable of creating things in our lives simply by focusing on these things, using visualization, meditation, affirmation, etc. Do you believe we can really create things in our lives that by these methods? Or do you think that these ideas are simply foolish and the products of wishful thinking? First weighing in is Cashew Gesundheit.
Cashew.
Do you want to read these, Don?
Cashew says, I went to a Brian Tracy seminar. He asked us to take a minute and write down 10 things that were somewhat reasonable, but would be a stretch to achieve in the next year. I did the exercise and I put it away. Within a year, I had 9 out of 10 of mine done. My opinion is that it plants a seed in your subconscious, and you begin doing things to move closer to these goals without consciously being aware that you're pursuing them.
Yeah.
It's actually a great, that's great. Lars Grass says, I believe God will bless us with good things that we focus on as long as it fits into our purpose and goal in life. I personally don't believe in karma per se, but I guess it does go back to the definitions of blessings from God for me. There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I'll save my words for a minute.
Okay.
ZX81 version 2 says, I'm a follower of simulation theory or gaming theory. Time can either be analog or digital. Analog start to end. Digital, probability and improbability. Everything is electrons at base levels. So energy. Energy is what makes our computers work as well as you. If the power of choice exists, it falls within the probability fields of something happening or not happening, as the case may be. If you can influence the future by manipulating probabilities using mind, the future is what you make it, literally. He says you're playing the best RPG in creation, and that's the way his brain works in weird ways. Lily Pond says, I definitely believe that we create our own realities. I did something similar to what Cashew did in my early 20s, except I wrote an entire binder page of things that I wanted to achieve. At the time, it seemed totally unattainable, but years later, I found that paper, and not only had I achieved all the things on the list, I had surpassed my goals by a mile.
Awesome.
After all, doesn't every achievement begin with a thought and a desire? Very good.
Yep.
Nice point. Very good. Rachel 101, one of our favorite people. She's always got it right. Well, yeah, they are. But she's always got it right. I think we're capable of creating things in our lives. Visualization creates focus. Meditation creates clarity. Very nice. Affirmations are the foundation that we build our personal wants on. Through these techniques, things will manifest. Mm-hmm. Ghost Magnet says, focusing on what you want sends energy towards it, and your thoughts become words, and your words become action. Very good. Yes, you put that energy out. That's how you put that energy out. Act as if has been my go-to for most of my life. When I want something that's out of my reach, I act if I already had it. I'm grateful for it, and when I get grief for being a dreamer and get asked where are you going to get the money for that, I say from wherever it is now. I have to add one more thing to the above tasks, and that is ask, seek, knock, and all shall be given. There you go.
Yeah, very cool.
K-Love says, over 20 years ago, a friend told me about these two movies. I watched them, and they changed my life. My focus is on positive energy, being thankful, and allowing myself to listen to the universe. Think, believe, and it will happen. One of the movies is called The Secret.
Yep.
And the other is What the Bleep, Down the Rabbit Hole. Now, What the Bleep is Marley Matlin, the deaf actress.
Oh, okay.
What the Bleep was great because it talks about quantum physics and how we relate in quantum entanglement and things like that.
Oh, cool.
But I haven't seen Down the Rabbit Hole. I don't know if that's a different one or if it's the same one. I haven't heard the Down the Rabbit Hole part. Yeah. But they were interesting movies. But Marley Matlin's, she's just awesome to watch anyhow.
Yeah, she is. Yep.
Let's see here. The Unknown. Manifesting things with our mind for me. I guess it would depend on what you're trying to manifest. The law of attraction would fall under this, I believe. To manifest a physical object to appear right in front of you. No, this is impossible, but to make things happen, yes, it is possible. And I know this to be true because I've done it personally. I tested this out for 1 week straight, and everything I thought of came to be in that week.
Cool.
Although we're not like we're not like things.
Although they were not the things.
Things like winning the lottery or having a Ferrari appear. They were small things that did come along. I think some people have the meaning of manifestation misunderstood. Yes, true. A lot of people do. But hey, what do I know? I've been wrong before. Me too, brother. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Diesel says, I saw Brian Tracy and had a similar experience with goal setting. I believe we can absolutely change how we see ourselves and others with positive self-talk. These foundations will then be a basis for bigger results in our area, in areas we care about.
Yeah.
Luna Moonicorn.
Oh, you missed Ruger, didn't you?
If you tell yourself you're sick long enough, you'll be sick. Yeah, exactly. If I tell myself my day sucks and I suck and I have a terrible day, and if I tell myself I'm going to have a great day and I'm awesome, I have a great day. So maybe manifesting is possible because you focus your brain on results and you set yourself up both consciously and unconsciously to get there. My problem is I procrastinate and I say I will focus and try to manifest something and then I pull it off.
Put it off. Yeah.
Put it off. I'm sorry. Put it off. Yep. Yes. Absolutely. I think I've always said, and I've always said on the show, we speak ourselves into our reality. Mm-hmm. I've always said that. I've always felt that. Just like Ruger says, if you tell yourself you're sick long enough, you'll end up sick. And I've used that example too. I don't tell myself I'm getting sick. I just prepare myself to just be healthy in general. Mm-hmm. I try. I'm not always the healthiest guy. I mean, I just had a Wendy's, chicken sandwich. It's not good for you, but it sure tasted good for me. But also, when we speak, that's putting that energy out there. Yes, thoughts are energy as well, but speaking puts the vibration in it.
Yeah.
It moves the energy. So, whatever you're saying they're spells. When you speak, you spell. Mm-hmm. And you can think of it either way you want, but it's all in your intention. If you intend to do ill, you will get ill back. If you intend to do the opposite of positives, yeah. So if you intend positives, then you receive positives, and it's just a manifestation of the energy that we can perceive and we receive and give out. So There you go.
I would agree. I think there's it's definitely a real thing. I think that we do manifest on a very profound level all the time.
Yes.
Even when we don't know we're manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's an old example that I used to use because this is a little editorial, so you have to forgive me, but I was at a place.
It's your show, bud.
I was at a place where I was always trying to fix people, things, everything. Right. I always wanted to make everything better.
Right.
And so I kept having relationships where I would find the people that were not good for me. And that's not to say they were bad people. I don't mean to imply that, but just some people fit together and some people don't. And I managed to find the people that didn't fit with me over and over and over. And it was almost surreal. Like you could put 100 people in a room, and I'll be attracted to all of them that aren't good for me. It was just a real bizarre thing that I had going on.
Right. Yeah.
And I realized that I was manifesting that in my world. And now, is it a subconscious thing? Is it a true manifestation? Well, if everything is energy, then everything that is in your life was manifested from that energy. The old occultists used to use a term called magnetism, and it's basically when you see things like The Secret and stuff like that, those are old wisdoms. Those are nothing new. They're just reworked old wisdoms, and they're brilliant. I'm not taking anything away from them, but the magnetism idea was that if you want things in your life, you have to magnetize yourself to draw them in. And certainly visualization is important. Now, is it always something metaphysical? No. But anytime you creatively visualize and meditate on something, you are creating that reality in yourself.
Right.
And therefore, when you're creating a reality in yourself, you're creating it in your world. And so I think that, it doesn't matter what esoteric names you give it or religious names or whatever. It's the same principle, is that I think that we can draw good things into our lives, or we can draw horrible things into our lives. And all of it breaks down to us, and so in other words, if you want to be successful, you can't just wish for success, because whatever's in your life, you're already manifesting. So if you're not happy with what's in your life, you've got to have an accountability for that and say, well, all of this stuff is broken, but I'm the one common denominator for it. And it was a tough thing for me to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I had to really, in my life and in my personal journey, I had to look at my life and go, why do I continually attract these things to me? What is it that I have to learn? What is it that I have to change about myself in order to bring those positives in? And the one problem I have with a lot of these esoteric ideas is that they just think, well, you just decide on something else and then poof.
Yeah. No.
And it just happens. Well, no, you've got to change what you're attracting into your life. And once you look at yourself, look at take a real personal inventory about what's not working in your life and why it's not working, and you start to make changes, then you will draw in those good things. You'll manifest those other things that you're looking for, but still, we are the antenna.
Right.
We are the antenna for our lives. Whatever's in your life, somehow we're drawing into it, and so you really have to take a real honest self-inventory to figure out, why am I drawing in all these things that are breaking me over and over?
Yep.
And once you can figure that out, and it's a hard, double tough thing to do, because change is incredibly hard.
Right.
And that's why success is so elusive to so many people, is because they've been kind of told half the story.
Right.
All you got to do is think about what you want, and then it comes. Well, no.
That's only half of it, yeah.
This isn't a magic genie lamp that you rub and you just say, well, now I want this. You've got to become the person that can receive the things you want.
They say that you're the sum of the 10 people you hold closest. So it's a Stephen Covey thing, Mindsets of the Rich and Famous, or whatever it is. I can't remember. But anyhow, it's like if you want to be rich and famous, you need to hang out with rich and famous people and emulate them, and then figure out how you fit into that dichotomy, and then you basically fake it till you make it, which is a real thing. It really is. As long as your intent and you have positive intent and you do things correctly, or as correctly as you can, and put that energy out there, and you can do anything you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, it's not just a matter of this is what I want. I'm going to make a wish now and throw a coin into a well.
There is work.
Yeah, you've got to be willing to do the work, and in witchcraft they call it the shadow work.
Yeah, they call it shadow left-hand path, shadow work. Yeah.
There's many different names for this, and it's not exclusive to any one esoteric belief system. But the point is you've got to be the person that's creating the charge for those things to come to you. And if you're not, then you have to look at, why are you not creating that charge? What is getting in your way of you manifesting this in your life and drawing it in? So
you have to be really honest with your self-inventory too.
Yeah.
Even in AA and NA and things like those anonymous, those 12-step programs, they say, personal inventory. Well, the problem is that people aren't honest with their personal inventory,
Sure.
and they don't know how to go about making amends and then fixing the energy,
Right.
changing, not fixing, changing the energy,
Changing or transforming it.
transforming, because you can't fix it. You have to transform it into something new. You have to change the energy. You have to change the directions. You know, you also have to, you know, well, like you said, you know, you got to do the shadow work. So yeah, absolutely. And the shadow work's hard, but you have to be honest. You have to be dead honest with yourself to get any positive change out of that.
Sure. Yeah, it all comes from, you know, if we truly do manifest our world, then if things are in your world that you don't like, you got to look at what you're manifesting and why.
Yep.
And oftentimes they can be lessons. Sometimes they can just be broken thought patterns or selfish things or you know, narcissistic behaviors. Right. We're all a little bit of a narcissist.
Well, yeah.
You know, so
well, we have to be. It's called self-preservation.
Sure. But if you're getting in your own way, then you can't manifest these things no matter what you do.
Right.
If you're going to block your own path, then you can't expect that because you know, visualize or meditate that they will happen. There's the core of it is you. You're the common denominator to whether or not your life is good and wonderful.
Yep.
And if it's not, then change it. By God, please change it. Don't live a tormented life. You don't have to. And it's not like I got this stuff all dialed in. I just, believe me, I still have as many problems as anybody else.
I tell you, you wake up tomorrow and you're going to have to change something or you know, because you just, it's never the same day to day. It's got to be renewed every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Renewed.
So
You have to renew it.
Yeah. But anyway, great question. Thank you so much, Wonder Woman, for that suggestion. And we'll get another one up shortly. So I'd love to have you in there. What is it? Luna Moonicorn says, I manifested my dog. Even came with the name I wanted to name my dog. Looked like the dog I wanted. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's not like everything you manifest is going to be a big challenge to do it. Some things will flow to you naturally because you're all ready for it.
Yeah.
And some things you're maybe not, but then you got to figure out why and what has to change in you to create that reality. Right, yeah. So, but
Aaron says you have to self-adjust your radio knob. Yeah, you got to change that frequency all the time.
Yep. Good points, guys. And thank you for all of you that participated there. Thank you for those of you that are participating here. Thanks for all your inputs. You don't have to be on the Discord to participate, just for the record. You certainly can type in like these people are doing here in the chat, and we'll look for your comments if they're easy to see, and we'll read them as well. But thank you, Wonder Woman, for that question. That's
a great question, yeah.
That was really good. And yeah, if any of you have any suggestions for other questions you'd like to ask, by all means, please do, because it's getting tough for me to keep thinking about what do I want to ask about now, and then I got to look at what I've already asked, and I kind of did that one. No, I can't quite do that. So, any feedback and ideas you guys have, I'm welcome. I welcome. So, all right, this has been the Discord question of the week.
I need that sound file.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I need you to send it.
Right.
Put it in the drive.
All right.
I need that sound file.
I'll put it in there. So great discussion, and that's why I love the Discord question of the week. So there's going to be these Discord questions of the week are going to precede every live show that we do. So it will precede Friday's show. It won't precede Saturdays because this Saturday we're welcoming Deb Varner back.
That's right. It's the 10th. Yes.
The 10th. Deb Varner's going to be here doing live call-in readings to callers of the show. So if you want a psychic reading from our wonderful Mrs. Deb, then by all means call in on Saturday night and hold the line if you do.
Call early and hold the line.
Call early, hold the line. You might be on hold for a while, but just trust we'll get to you. We have never not gotten to somebody that would called in during the time of the show. So we'll do our bestest to get to you as quickly as we can. But readings are readings. So if she's got a lot to say to somebody, I can't get in Deb's way.
No.
So, I turn into a receptionist for a night.
That's true. Yeah. It's like, caller, you're on the line. Here's Deb.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the show. I'll let you talk to Deb. And I sit there and just wait. Okay, thanks for calling. Bye. No, it's wonderful. I love listening to Deb work. She's just wonderful. She's been a wonderful friend to the show for a long time and been giving of herself so amazingly for years here on the portal. So That's coming up on Saturday night. So, but Friday we'll have a question of the week. So I'll expect your participation. And if, again, look for the link in the chat. Don posted it.
Yep.
And you can join and become part of it. Love to have you over there. So we got a wonderful chat community over in Discord too. There's a lot of people are part of it. There's not a ton of those people that actively chat, but they're there.
Yeah.
And we do have a fantastic core of people that continue to keep the conversations rolling.
Well, and that's another way, though, to... why am I blue, not green? I thought...
Oh, hell the blue.
I don't know. No, please, no, stop.
Oh, Christmas.
No.
Where?
Oh, goodness.
All right. Well, let's get back to the rest of the show, Don. What do you say?
I'm so blue without you. There you go.
Thinking about you. All right. I just flew in from Cincinnati, and Lord, my arms are tired.
Oh, God.
All right. That's my best Elvis. That's all I got. Let's get to the next part of the show, which is here. There it is. Boom. I'm not starting there, though. We got to start over here. All right, so we've been working through a Factinate article lately, and this is factinate.com. Did I read that one? I think I did. Maybe I didn't. No, I did. I read this one. Okay. So we're on number 34 of this Factinate article, and these are unforgettably creepy encounters. And this is a Reddit aggregated article where the article person goes out and looks on Reddit threads for conversations about this stuff. And then they scrape it and put it in their article. And it's been a lot of fun. What is this? Karaoke night?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not tonight. But maybe another night. If I want to get copyright strikes, we'll go for it. That's the problem with YouTube is, I can only karaoke my own songs, basically, for longer than 15 seconds. I think is how it works. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not a copyright lawyer, but let's get to this article. And these are creepy encounters from, again, factinate.com. It's a great site. They've got articles pretty much about everything, but I like their paranormal ones. Those are pretty awesome. And we're on number 34, as I said. So, number 34, one for me, one for Humphrey. I work at a famous old paranormal pictures lot. The lot is a ton of history. The stage they filmed Poltergeist on is one of the Paramount lot. I keep wanting to say paranormal.
Yeah, well, it's there.
The lot also borders Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Oh, I work very long hours, and there are times when I'm on the lot very late at night into the morning. And I'm also a smoker.
There you have it.
Cigarettes, yeah. Cigarettes in the paranormal. There's always a cigarette in the stories.
Hand.
So it's not unusual for me to step away from my desk at 2 a.m. and go smoke. The building my production office is in is very close to the back end of the lot that is bordered by the cemetery. Well, this happened last week. I stepped out for a break, irritated that I was still at work. My coworker was going to meet me outside in a moment to continue our complaints about still being at work. And as I'm standing there in a huff, a man walks up next to me and asks for a light.
Yep.
I didn't even think twice about it. I whip out my lighter for him. He said thanks and walked off. Once again, it's not unusual for people to be on the lot very late at night. 2 seconds later, I realize my coworkers are looking at me from a few feet away like I'm a complete lunatic. I asked her, what is she staring at? And she said, I was talking to myself and trying to light the air on fire. Sounds ridiculous, but I think I lit a smoke for a ghost.
Wow.
That was by Vintage Flow.
Ghost lighting.
And as bizarre as that sounds, honestly, we've covered other stories like that. One person worked at a nursing home of some kind, and they had a patient in there that always liked to go out and smoke in the mornings.
Right.
And so the guy came to work, and the patient was out there, and he bummed a cigarette and lit the cigarette for the guy and lit his own cigarette in the center. He said the guy didn't talk much, though. He just kind of stood there and smoked the cigarette. And he was like, well, I got to get into work. So he went into work, only to find out that the guy that he was smoking the cigarette had died the night before.
Yep.
But he was still there.
Yep.
Very cool story, very bizarre.
Yep.
But is it a possibility? I guess, sure. Just many stories of spirits manifesting to the point that you can't tell they're not there until they disappear.
Right.
And certainly smoking. There's plenty of people who have witnessed apparitions smoking cigarettes.
And other things.
Cigars and other things, yeah.
Yeah, those things too.
Number 35, fool me once. A few years ago, I stayed in an outdated hotel in Bangkok.
Outdated.
One night in Bangkok.
Yeah, it'll change your life forever.
Yeah. The satellite signal was a bit scrambly, but still decent enough to watch a movie. So I started watching a movie, the movie Room 1408. The movie itself is pretty intense if you're into horror flicks. Not me, I don't know. At some point in the movie, the guy stuck in the room suddenly hears voices from the radio. And I kid you not, at that exact same time, the radio in my bed started playing out of nowhere. It gave me goosebumps. While it scared the heck out of me, I guessed I must have turned the knob when checking in, and it coincidentally found a signal at that exact moment. Then, a couple of years later, I was doing night shifts at a network operations center for an IT company. We had a big server full of movies, and I stumbled on the same movie again and started watching it again. I kind of felt anxious for some reason, and then suddenly started thinking about what happened the first time I saw the movie. The same scene comes up, and that's when the unthinkable happens. At that exact moment, the radio plays in the movie. The radio at the back of the office starts making white noise.
Ew.
Ooh. I had goosebumps like a cold front took over my body in a few seconds and felt numbingly anxious. I'm not into the paranormal still, but heck, even typing this down, I still feel goosebumps thinking about it. I haven't watched that movie since, and I probably never will. That was by a random Asian guy.
So, first of all, he steps out to have a parasig, and has
this is the second.
No, that was the other one. Yeah,
that's the second story.
This is the guy that was radio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I tell you, one night in Bangkok will do a lot of things to you.
I guess so. But that is pretty bizarre. It makes you wonder, is the movie known for that? I don't even know.
1408?
Yeah, never heard of it.
For some reason, Johnny Depp is sticking in my head.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Room 1408.
Tell him to get the hell off your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. I'm here all night.
Tony Shalhoub, John Cusack. So, no, not the one I thought.
Okay.
It's a man who specializes in debunking paranormal occurrences.
Oh.
So there you go.
Sounds like a good movie.
Yeah, well,
I might even enjoy that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't normally like horror movies because it's like, I don't need to watch people dying all night.
That's not good.
It's like, no thanks. I'm just going to surf YouTube. Number 36, when binging TV pays off. There you go, Don. Might be a new career choice for us.
Yeah. No.
Me and my friends live in a duplex with one apartment on the bottom of the house and the other one I live in on the top floor. I'd been downstairs at a surprise party for a friend that was moving away, but went back up to my room a little after midnight. I couldn't really sleep, so I stayed up way later than I ever do, binge watching TV in the dark. At 4:50 a.m., the door to my room rattles. I was like, okay, well, my door in particular is kind of loose, and it's probably just the wind. But then the door starts opening.
Huh.
I'm just sitting on my bed frozen while this tall, skinny dude starts coming into my room.
Wow.
It's dark, so I thought that maybe it was a friend who the party was for, inebriated and coming up to say goodbye again. I was so wrong.
Uh-huh.
I said, "Who are you?" And incredibly, he told me his first name, and I said, "What are you doing in my room?" And even more incredibly, he said he didn't know. I told him to get out now, which he did. I locked my door behind him and called my best friend who lived downstairs where there were still partygoers, and that there was an intruder. She called 911 and sent up our factory worker roommate, who found the guy just sitting in our living room in the dark. My friend waved a box cutter around and told the guy to leave, and he bolted. Still on the phone with 911, my best friend chased the intruder down the street.
Wait a minute. She told him to get out and then chased him down.
Yeah, chased him down the street, giving a description, and he was picked up by the officers only a few blocks away. The super creepy part of the story, Everyone at the party had heard someone open the door and go upstairs. 20 minutes before I called them, he also made it to up our narrow, super steep staircase all the way down the hall, passing 3 bedrooms, the bathroom, the living room, and the kitchen, to my room, which was recessed and not visible from the hallway until you're right in front of it. I really don't know what would have happened if I hadn't had gotten really obsessed with my TV show that night. Whenever my door rattles, I still get spooked.
Huh.
That was UFO TT. Huh. Well, that's pretty creepy. That's not necessarily paranormal, but it's definitely not normal. Or it shouldn't be, if it is.
Yeah, it should. We should not normalize this kind of behavior.
This behavior shall not be normalized. Yep. Number 37, glitch in the matrix. A few days ago, my iPhone would not accept my fingerprint for Touch ID, any of my fingerprints. My dog stayed on the other side of the apartment from me and wouldn't take any treats from me, and I trained him not to take treats from anyone except me to avoid poison or illness. But he wouldn't even take his favorite treats from me or cuddle with me. When I went to hug him, he hid in his kennel. My PIN didn't work for my debit card, so I wound up running it as credit. I used the same PIN for everything. The only websites I could get into were Reddit, Gmail, and Amazon, pages where my password is stored. Any website where I had to enter a username and password came back as incorrect. Thank God there's no password to wake my computer up, or I wouldn't have been able to do any work that day. The next day, everything was back to normal. Yeah. Ooh. No one to attribute to that to. It's just a permalink. But yeah, that's pretty creepy. What happened? Was it an alternative universe? Alternate universe? I don't know.
So 1408 is based on a Stephen King book.
Is it really?
Yeah,
oh,
so go figure that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a prolific writer, that guy.
He's prolific. That's true.
All right. Number 38. Come out wherever you are. Yeah, that sounds creepy. Unless you're a kid.
With the screaming demon.
Yeah. This story is about the first time I realized the world isn't as safe and well-intentioned as sitcoms and Disney made it out to be.
Oops, the wrong generation.
Yeah. You might not want to rely on Disney for your worldview. Just, you know.
You remember Bambi? Her mom?
Yeah.
His mom.
Yeah, or Aladdin or
Dumbo.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt unsettled. I felt targeted. This was the first time I ever felt terror. I've shared this story before, but I still think about it. The more I think about it, the more I wonder if it was even human.
Oh, dun-dun.
I still feel mildly unsettled when I'm outside my house to this day. When this story takes place, I was 13. When I was 13, I was going through puberty.
Obviously.
Puberty, okay, well, thanks for the news flash. And I had OCD and other undiagnosed anxiety disorders, so I'm a paranoid, worrisome, and hormonal teen.
Sounds pretty normal, actually.
Sounds like teen. Yeah. It's just been enough. Until this night, I thought all my worrying was just paranoia. This particular night, I had 3 friends stay at my house for a sleepover. It was summer, and we want to rebel and whatnot, so we decided to play Ghost in the Graveyard, which was basically hide and seek in the dark. We were mixing up different styles throughout the night, but this round we went for a 2-on-2 style. I'm not sure why we decided to go with partners, probably for some safety reason, but I'm sure glad we did. Ned and Duncan are about 5'10" and tall and thin, while Devin is about 5'4" tall and thin. I'm the big guy in this group, being about 5'10" and stocky. During this round, my friend Ned and I are it. While Devin and Duncan are hiding behind being it, we had to count inside my house and count to 60 or 100. Ned and I finished counting and walked down my driveway. We're chatting, joking about the nonsense, and just enjoying the night. We get to the corner and look across the street into the next corner's yard. A next corner house's yard. In the dark, it is dark, and there's some pine trees, but not terribly black. We think we see movement and yelled out, "Oh, good hiding spot, guys. Really original. This will be quick, and just come out already." Yet we see no movement. We wait about 20 more seconds, hoping they will come out so that we don't have to run too much, but they don't. We think we were wrong, so we shrug it off and turn left down the dark, short road toward the church My neighbor's corner property has pine trees surrounding his backyard, and the properties on this small stretch of road had no lights on and had plenty of trees as well. It was a nice dark tunnel with light at the end and was not welcoming. We walk about 10 feet toward the church, and from the middle of the windy road leading up to the church, we see a silhouette emerging from the dark wooded area on the right and into the orange glow of the church's building light. Due to the dark and the way the light is coming from behind the silhouette, I can't see any details on this person. It's an odd-shaped person because he looks top-heavy, abnormally so, as if someone is holding a large oversized garbage bag that is too cumbersome, or Duncan carrying Devin piggyback ride style on his back, which is what Ned and I thought. We start laughing at their ridiculousness, and I think they're being cocky since they're both faster than us, or it's some ploy to take us off our game and mess with us. We keep walking slowly down the street towards the figure, calling out at our buddies for their stupidity when I hear this very freaky whistling emanating from this guy. It sounded like someone purposely was making a happy tune sound creepy, drawing out certain notes, bouncing the airflow, all in a very low pitch. I can't really compare it to anything I've heard before. It was just incredibly eerie and unsettling. And this is when Ned and I slow down our walk and stop laughing. The figure keeps walking slowly towards us, whistling that tune that sent shivers down my spine. Ned and I try to keep our poker faces. We're chuckling nervously, saying things like, "Ha ha, really funny, guys. Yeah, you're too close to us now. Might as well admit we're going to get you." As we're doing this, I'm still trying to discern if this is my buddies or something that has malicious intent. And because of the lighting and atmosphere, I can't tell. All I see are shadows, shades with no distinguishing characteristics, and the orange light that is more of a distraction than helpful. Suddenly, I hear a commotion behind us, and I turn to see Duncan and Devin running from the exact spot where Ned and I had thought they were, from the pine trees near the corner of my block. The streetlight they were running under seemed like a spotlight, signifying safety and clarity. Ned had apparently been thinking the exact same thing. We both do the stereotypical slow turn, catch each other's wide, fear-filled eyes as we face the Whistler. This thing had stopped across the street and was about 5 feet away from the mouth of the church's driveway. We were just a few feet away from the parallel street ourselves, and the Whistler also stopped whistling. I'm staring at this mismatched blob-like silhouette, trying to figure out why its torso looks like a large lump of clay, and its legs look like popsicle sticks. Ned and I stood there in fear for what felt like minutes. The crystallizing moment I had realizing this was some unknown thing or a man, who at the very least enjoyed messing with two teenagers, or most likely, worst case scenario, they were most likely for me. Thank you, anxiety. Worst case scenarios were most likely for me. Thank you for anxiety. Some mutant ghost, or wanted nothing more than to tear into our flesh and laugh about it. When in reality, it took about 5 seconds for Ned and I to realize the situation. I booked it first back towards my house, as Ned was right behind me and soon overtook me. My fear intensified when I heard the third set of rapid footfalls coming from behind me. However, by the time we hit the corner near my house and I turned toward it, I saw nothing. No one was there. Nothing was chasing us. I had no idea where it went. We met in my backyard. Devin and Duncan were laughing at missing them. Ned and I didn't care. We were like, "Did you guys see that thing? Did you hear it whistling?" They were laughing at us, saying we were messing with them and trying to make excuses for missing them when we had them. Ned and I are gobsmacked. We were convinced they had to have heard or seen something. Nope. Apparently Ned and I shared a hallucination of our friends didn't pay enough attention to care. This whole time I'm staring at my neighbor's tree line and the small part of the side street I can see from my yard, making sure this eerie whistler won't get the jump on us. All I see is pine trees and empty road, and that burnt orange light that will unsettle me for years, because all of it had done for me in a moment of terror was amplify that frumpy Quasimodo's creepiness. Yeah. Is that a real story? I don't know. It's permalinked,
Crazy.
but it's a crazy story for sure. I don't know, Don. I think it was a blob squatch.
Maybe it was the Wisconsin Whistler.
The Wisconsin Whistler. I think there is a Kentucky Whistler or something,
something
like that.
Yeah.
I remember it from Mountain Monsters way back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yep.
Get 'em, Trapper.
Get him. Where's Huckleberry? God, those guys. They made a mint.
They are, they're still out there, I guess. I think that was a cool story. I don't know what that last one was. It's hard to say. Could it just be some trickster spirit kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, well.
I wouldn't want to see it, though.
Yeah, don't take a chance, yeah.
Yeah, don't take a chance. Well, we're going to move over to some Sasquatch Chronicles because that's how we roll here, Don. Sasquatch. Yep, we're going to watch some Sasquatch Chronicles articles. Again, everybody knows Wes's site, Sasquatch Chronicles, but well, you should have by now. By now, Don, you should have. There might be something wrong with you, but
that might be true. No, it is true, but
well, anyway, not that we have time to cover tonight, but
point it out.
It's okay, Don. We're all broken. But we're going to check out Sasquatch Chronicles blog, which is a great location to check out a lot of amazing information. So check it out, SasquatchChronicles.com. Special thanks to Wes for letting us peruse his goods.
Mere Nuisance says, I watched the Never-Ending Story this weekend for the first time in 10 years. Well, here's 2 more movies for you. Watch Legend and Labyrinth.
Tom Cruise's first movie, wasn't it? Legend.
Yeah.
Labyrinth was good. I like David Bowie's Labyrinth a lot.
Yep.
Was it Frank Oz's puppeteering?
Yes.
There was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep.
And for those of you that may not know, I'm convinced the name Hogwarts from Harry Potter comes from the movie Labyrinth because there's
Jared
a little
kept screwing up his name.
Yeah, because the Troll King or whatever he's called was
Jared.
Yeah, it's David Bowie's character. He always screws up Hoggle's name
Hoggle.
and calls him one time Hogwart.
Yep, sure does.
And I was like, I remember that.
Dance magic, dance magic.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Maggie. Yes, I know that song very well.
Yeah.
I know the entire damn song and people hate it.
You remind me of the Babe, Don.
What Babe?
The Babe with the power.
What power?
Power of voodoo.
Hoodoo.
You do.
What?
Remind me of the Babe. Thank you very much.
We are so bad.
We're just a couple of dumb nerds. All right, so let's get to the Sasquatch Chronicles article. And this is from December 5th. And it's a listener submission. And it should be good. Let's get to it now.
Now.
Right now.
Now, dang it.
No time like the present, Don.
Nope.
What did you say? You had a present?
What?
All right, Sasquatch Chronicles blog, December 5th. Its hands were as big as my head.
Wow.
This one I think comes out of, it's New Zealand. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Now that's interesting too because, I've heard plenty of times about the Yowie in Australia. But I really hadn't heard much from out of New Zealand.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. I don't know if he's from New Zealand when this happened, but a listener writes, my name is Tom. I'm from New Zealand, and I just wanted to share you my Bigfoot encounter. So me and my cousin were both 18 at the time. We just finished our last year in high school, but we were on our end of the year holidays, and we both had no idea on what we were going to do on our break. My cousin suggested that we go spend a week up on the coast with one of grandfathers, period. Okay. Now, before I move on, we live in a small in-town called Gisborne, 40,000 population, and the coast is pretty much just a rural area near my town. All bush and forest pretty much, and our family has a homestead in a small settlement called Waipiro Bay. Our grandfather was happy we were there to spend some time with him. And I was happy to be there too. Just something about being in the bush just relaxes and clears my mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, after a long day of hearing sheep and cutting up wood, our grandfather told us that we should go spotlighting for eels for our dinner.
Nice.
We waited till around 2000. What is that, 10 p.m.? 8 p.m., yep. And off we went. Now, my grandfather's house is on this hill, and right below it, At the back of his house is this trail that leads to a creek trail. The creek trail is about 1 hour walk, and the sides is fully covered in thick brush. Unfortunately, the eels were too small to catch, and we get to the end of the trail and turn back the way we came. And as we're walking back, we started hearing these weird squeals coming from the left side of the bushes. So we stopped. Turned out head torches. Oh, they had head torches on, so they had helmets or hats with a visor light or whatever. Head torches off and just listened. In my mind, I thought it was just a wild boar running around, and my cousin said the same thing as well. We turned our torches back on and carried on through the creek. About 5 minutes later, we hear the squeals again, but this time they were louder and closer, and something was rubbishing through the bushes. We stopped, turned our torches off, and listened. We both faced where the noise was coming from, and we could see this black silhouette staring at us. My cousin reached to turn his head lamp on, and there he was staring right at us. What does he call it? The Mohau man?
Yes.
Mohau man. His face covered in thick black grayish hair, orange-yellow bright eyes, teeth like a canine, hands as big as my head. He looked at us and let out this big huff and stepped back into the bushes, and off he went. Me and my cousin both just looked at each other and lets this sigh of relief out and carried on back to the house. We never said a word on our way back, just silent. We get back to the house, and grandfather says, "No luck on the eels?" My cousin replies, "I think we just saw the Mohau man." My grandfather looks at us and says, "Yeah, I've seen him around here a few times as well. I just leave him be." I was shocked, and then when he said that, and I was like, "Wait, you seen him too?" My grandfather said, "Yep. I've seen him when I'm out hunting. He's come too. He's come to the house a few times, but he doesn't come too close though." So I just let him be, and he also told us he didn't want us to go out and look for him neither, like we were going to do that. Laugh out loud. But my grandfather believes that the Mohau man is some ancient guardian that watches over the local forest near him. I'm 28 now, and I still think night at times. The only other person I've told this story to is my partner. She believes me, and she's also had some pretty weird encounter experiences before we met. I'd never heard of the Mohau man before. Had you?
Congratulations. I just looked it up.
Uh-huh.
Maggie mentioned it just before you got to that part about the. Now, I guess it's pronounced Molhau.
Okay.
Moihau.
Moihau.
Also known as, what is this word? Called the Meomero creature. New Zealand, in Coromandel.
Okay.
So there you go. Yeah. So no, I hadn't heard of it until now, and it's definitely one of those ones we might have to look into a little more.
Well, it's just neat because it sounds like the Yowie, the Bigfoot, the Yeren, the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever. So it's another dot on the map of locations these things are reported.
Yeah.
And it's another name that I'd never heard. So that's really cool. Mohau. Speaking of letting you know things, speaking of Bigfoot, if you go on Amazon Prime now, ladies and gentlemen, you can find European Bigfoot Walking with Wild Man 3. And that's the video that I narrated, and it's the Irish Bigfoot Research Organization and their quest over in Ireland to find evidence of the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, or Woodwose, or Grogok, or any number of names that they have over there for these big humanoid beings.
Here we go.
So it's now available on Amazon. It just got released yesterday. Finally, it was a little late. It was supposed to be on the 1st, but it got it done. So that's available on Amazon Prime. The link is on my Facebook if you want to check it out, or the Paranormal Portal Facebook, or the Paranormal Portal fans, or in the Discord, or wherever. There's links to it. So I would appreciate it if you check it out. Please leave a review.
Absolutely, yeah.
And glowing review would be best.
Yeah, of course.
So that's available on Amazon Prime right now. So look for European Bigfoot Walking with the Wild Man 3, and you should find it. So just got to put that out there because it's something I'm really excited about. I've been really thankful that they keep bringing me back for more.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, the eyebrows.
The eyebrows, IBRO. Yep. They are the eyebrows. All right, so one more from Sasquatch Chronicles now, and this is from December 5th, Monkey and Owl Sounds. A listener writes, I was listening to Dan from New Hampshire about his owl sounds and encounter. I have something I want to share with you and Dan, and you feel free to give Dan my email address if you'd like to chat with me about this. I've been considering reaching out to you for some time, but haven't done a lot of interviews anymore. I did a podcast this year with my friend Cliff and James. That means Bobo. Cliff and
Whoever that is.
Whoever those guys
Cliff
are.
and James.
Yeah.
James.
But anyway, the reason why I'm emailing you is from the Sasquatch expeditions we have been doing here for the last 22 years. I often hear bits and pieces of some of our encounters we've had here. I often hear bits and pieces. Okay. When I heard Dan tonight talking about the owl sounds with the Yahoo, I wanted to share our similar owl sounds that ends with what sounds like monkey chatter. I was fortunate enough to be recording when it all went down. Funny thing is that we had been working this area for some time, and so these things were kind of used to us being there. It was crazy because you can hear several of them, and we were surrounded by them, but it was dark enough we couldn't see them, but could hear them in different spots around our camp. I will attach the audio file for you to share with Dan. I've learned that Bigfoot are masters of imitation in the woods.
Yes.
I won't go into any more details with the other encounters, etc., especially in an email that we have encountered. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how long the video is. I guess it's... Huh.
Wow.
That is pretty interesting. Let's try it again. Yeah, that's a strange mimic for sure. Said, sorry, I'm rambling on. Anyway, to get back on track, I'll attach the file and feel free to voice your opinion. I had a group that witnessed this event as well that were out with us when this happened. I just shared this episode with Dan and told them to forward to 41 minutes and have a listen. I figure when Dan hears our recording, he won't think he is crazy. There were a lot of weird things that happened out there. Anyway, hope you have a good evening, and I really enjoy listening to your show. If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. So, Interesting. That is a very bizarre owl sound. So, you do hear that monkey chattering, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, that brings it back to, is that just a different kind of what they call the samurai chatter? Yeah, so, and
sure.
And, who knows? I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the whole mimicking things, many First Nations tribes call them the great ventriloquists.
Right.
Or not many, but they're known as the great ventriloquist to some tribe or tribes out there. And they're known to imitate things. And everybody that has pursued any kind of information on the Sasquatch, you'll hear those tales. Well, it sounds like a big owl.
Right.
Hoo, like that. Now, I do recall one of the wonderful times that we were blessed to have Linda Godfrey on the show. She told the story, and I've told this one kind of recently. So sorry if it's redundant, but she talks about that mimicry as well. And she said that her neighbor in the Kettle Moraine area always used to go out on her porch during the summer and answer her phone, and it'd be like, "Oh, hello, hello, hello," like that. That was how way she answered it. Yeah. And Linda said she was out on her porch over the kettle. And the reason they call it kettles is because they're basically, the houses are up on an edge, but then it goes into a bowl impression where the forest is below them.
Right.
So they call it the kettles, but it's a forest down below them. And she said she was out on her patio, and she heard this really husky, manly voice. "Oh, hello, 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 hello."
Right.
And she was like, I recognized it right away because that's when my neighbor always answers her phone. But it's like this thing was trying to mimic that. And perhaps it knew Linda was up there listening or that somebody was up there, or is just mimicking for whatever reason.
Right.
Now, there's many accounts of people that have activity, Bigfoot or something activity around their house that talks about how there was some creature in the woods calling their dog, like calling the dog's name, like, come on, Taco, let's go. Okay, hey, Burrito, let's go.
Right.
Things like that. But in some of those stories come back as it almost being a perfect imitation of the person's voice. And others come back as it didn't sound anything like any of us. Like it was, hey, Taco, come here. If your dog's named Taco, I don't know. We have a great listener that's a friend of the show, Taco.
Taco.
And that's what popped into my mind because he emailed me. So,
Oh.
But yeah, I think that mimicry is certainly a part of their toolbox for whatever reason.
Or at least their voice box.
I see what you did there.
Oh,
you get a rim shot. But yeah, I think
That's
it's
the other
incredible.
box.
So what are they? Who knows?
Who knows?
But they certainly know how to sound like other things.
They do.
Yeah. So if you're ever in the woods and you hear like a strange animal that sounds kind of like an animal, but not quite, you might be hearing a squatch.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to reach out to Lee and get Lee back on the show.
We do.
He's been doing a lot of shows lately.
Yes, he has. I know he's been doing a lot with Eric Mintel and a couple other shows. People are going out to his property all the time now.
Yeah, well, when you got activity, you got activity.
Yeah, and Lee Hempel, of course, was appeared with Linda on our show. It was his first appearance, I think, on our show.
Yeah, it was the first time he was been on. Yeah.
Lee Hempel, yep. Nice guy, and he even gave us some trail cam photos that
which were pretty cool.
They are really cool. So there's a series of 3 of them, and you can find some of that in of course on our main channel, but also on the Paranormal Portal Pieces. We did a shorter version with just the trail cam shots.
The misty pics. Yeah.
Yep. So very interesting. It's like some 3-dimensional object is there in one of 3 pictures, and it's not there, then it's there, not there. It's like it's just for one of the 3 frames, the camera set up to take a 3-picture burst in like 1.5 seconds, all 3 pictures. And so for 1/2 of those seconds, there was an object there that looked like part of a staff or something. It looks crazy.
Right.
So you'll have to check it out. But anyway, that's going to about conclude our journey into the portal tonight, folks.
Really? Oh, jeez.
Can you believe it?
Wow.
Last time I looked, it was 38, and now I looked and it was like
55.
55, yeah.
Wow.
The time flies, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So we should probably talk about this, Don,
What's
because
that?
it's the gift giving season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think it's maybe worth. Well, what the hell? Oh, that's why. There it is. It's maybe worth noting, folks, if you're looking for that perfect gift for the person you love and you want to help support the show at the same time, by golly, this might be your answer right here.
By golly, by golly.
And this is what I'm talking about, the Paranormal Portal Teespring site. And this is our store for gears and things.
Should I do a special discount for Christmas?
I think you should.
You think so?
Yeah, I should do a Christmas code.
Let's see here.
Don's going to whip up a Christmas code to give you some savings as well. But as you can see, there's mugs, there's pullover hoodies, there's T-shirts, there's even gaiters for those of you that like those. Well, I mean, some people still use them in the winter.
Oh, sure enough, yeah.
Keep your face warm.
Yeah.
Speak no evil. Paranormal Portal hoodie, T-shirt, sticker. There's all kinds of stuff. 100% paranormal is there. The actual logo on your face. And there's a few designs by our good friend Thomas of T-Fetch.
Yeah.
He made a few designs here for us as well.
Absolutely. I really like that man one, and I also like the grays.
The
I really
grays.
like the grays.
Yeah, he did a great job. Yep, the black-eyed kids let me in.
No. Stay the hell out.
Yep, and so there's those, and then there's this rocker collection. These have probably been our most popular.
They have, yeah.
Yep, and
Definitely.
people are buying these. They got almost like the biker design on them, but they say Paranormal Portal on the front left breast, chest area, and then on the back you have this rocker collection, including a hat, a bucket hat. So you can have a bucket hat or, a pullover hoodie. It's all here. Did you make one?
I'm working on it. For some reason, It's giving me heartburn here.
Heartburn.
Heartburn.
So we'll put together a code. What is it going to be? Let's just tell them the code.
Let's see here. Let's do. You know what?
Like Xmas 2022 or
Let's do Xmas 2022. Yeah.
How about we'll do Xmas 2022, XMAS 2022, and that'll be your coupon code to save. How much, Don?
15%.
15%.
Okay.
All right. So Xmas 2022, right here on the Teespring site. It goes a long way to help us, folks. This is mostly a labor of love, and certainly the memberships and the super chats are awesome and wonderful. But this is another way, and I like this because you definitely get something for your investment, and it'd be neat to know more of these things were out there floating around.
Okay, so there we go.
All
Xmas 2022.
Xmas 2022, is that capital or small?
I think it's all capitals.
Okay,
because
all
I
capitals.
typed it in capital X little MAS, and it changed it to capital all of it. So say capital, all capitals, Xmas 2022.
So there you go, folks.
And it'll be good until New Year's Eve day.
Okay, we'll continue it until New Year's Eve day. So if you want to get that perfect person something to show them how much you love, this might be it. It might not, though, too. Depends on the depth of your love, I guess.
How deep is your love?
Yeah.
Sorry, good song.
Absolutely. So that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Don, anything in closing?
No, thanks for being here. Thanks for all the welcomes back to the show. I appreciate that. You guys really do show your love for us. We do appreciate that. So thank you.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you to all of our members once again. Thank you to our mods. You guys are awesome and amazing. And thank you for helping to keep things running smoothly. And leave a comment after post. Yeah, absolutely. And leave a like if you would, please. We'd love to have all the thumbs ups we can get and spread the word about the portal so that other people know about us. Because, my God, it's tough to get noticed out here on YouTube.
Sure enough, yeah.
Check out the podcast as well. New episode this week is an interview I did with Marie Dumont of Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group. And she was a wonderful person to talk to. I've really enjoyed the times we've met. And
yeah, she is just a fireball.
She is. She's a spark plug, but she's awesome. And so that's the newest podcast episode. So, and watch on next Monday for the next one. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Just remember, be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other, help each other out, find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. Love you all, and we'll see you on Friday night right here, you and me. All right. Until then, good night, everybody.
Good night.